Welcome, brothers and sisters, to Skull Nation and the Bones About It podcast. I am your host, Kenneth Scowl Taylor, with my partners, Douglas Bones and Tempest Rose. The Bones About It podcast tells people's stories. Today's story is from Sylvia Colon, co-founder of the Cleveland Family Center for Missing Children and Adults. Today's story is personal for me and my wife because we had a child who had gone missing. It was a stressful time not knowing where our child is and if they are all right. It affected the whole family. Watching the loss and sadness from my wife and the concern for my other children. As a family, we had no idea what to do or how to go about looking for our missing child. Thankfully for us and our family, our child was missing for only a few months. Our guest today's family member was missing for years. With that member living through hell for all those years, this family struggled to hold on for hope and never gave up looking for them. With the return of their family member, this family fought back and founded the Cleveland Family Center for Missing Children and Adults, with the intent to assist other families with hope that their loved ones will return to them. Let us hear from Sylvia. Let's go to the interview. Today our special guest is Sylvia Colon from the Cleveland Missing Children and Adults.
Cleveland Family Center for Missing Children and Adults.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you could tell us who you are and what it is.
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder along with my cousin Gina De Jesus. 19 years ago, a family was looking for their 14-year-old daughter, and she was missing for 9 years. She was missing here in Northeast Ohio, actually in this community. And the family didn't have really any resources, nothing certainly in Northeast Ohio or locally. And the only thing that they really had available to them was at a national level called the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is John Walsh's organization. I know a little bit about that family because that's my family. And for 9 long years, 19 years ago, we were looking for Gina when she was abducted. And so when Gina came home, Gina and I started talking about what was not available to our family. And she asked us a lot of questions like, well, what did you go through? What kinds of things did people do or didn't do for you? And pretty quickly she learned that while she was the victim, she was the person that was abducted, families are also victims. They're the people that people don't think about as victims as well. And so we really felt that there were so many different agencies out in the community that were available to help people be found. There was nothing in the country of it that was specifically for families. So we decided that we wanted to form an organization that was specific to helping the families search for their missing loved ones and really help them navigate what that was going to mean. Something as simple as making a flyer to navigating the media, social media, working with law enforcement officials, and really keeping the missing person's name out there. But equally as important is self-care for the families, because what we know, we think we're experts, is that families don't take care of themselves during this time. They're not working, they're not eating, they're not bathing, they're not doing a lot of things because all they can do is focus on that missing person. So that's why we exist. We're the only organization like this in the country that has a bricks and mortar building. There are other organizations that maybe help families, but I would argue not like what we have here, because you're in a bricks and mortar building where families can come.
And if somebody needs you, how do they get hold of you?
Very easy. There's a lot of different ways they can do that. Law enforcement, if they're working the case, can refer the family to us. But 85% of our cases, the families find us. They can do it on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. They can email us and they can call us, and they do all the above.
Can you tell them how to do that?
Sure, they can go to clevelandmissing.org. They can call us at 216-232-6470. They can go to Sylvia, Sylvia, at clevelandmissing.org, or they can go to Facebook, Cleveland Missing, Instagram, Cleveland Missing 18, and Twitter, Cleveland_4 FOR.
Now, you guys do a motorcycle.
Correct.
Can you tell us about that?
5 years ago, Cleveland Center came to me asking about starting a ride to raise money for the families. And COVID hit, and we postponed it. And then we started 3 years ago. We started our first ride. And all the money is donated to the center so they can help the families. Started the first one wasn't too big. Last year, we probably had about 100 bikes and slingshots. And our next ride is September 16th of this year.
What time do they show up, or where do they show up at?
The ride starts here at the center. We do registration outside at 7:30. Kickstands are up at 10. And we end probably 2 hours later at Rock and Roll Harley on West 150th. And there we have games. RTA police will be there to do fingerprints for kids that want to come get fingerprints and ID cards. We have trek races. We'll have food trucks there. So it's all comes together so we can raise money, donate it to the center. That's a good time for people to get out and help a great event.
And we'll also have some families there that are still searching for their missing loved ones, some that will be recovered and we continue to work with them, but some families, they've had people missing for 20 years plus. Ashley Summers' family, Ashley went missing from this area in the Clark Fulton community in 2007. She was 14 years old when she went missing. She just turned 30 years old, June 16th of this year. Her family's still looking for her 16 years later. They come to all of these events, and I'll make sure they're at this event. They like to get the word out.
We call it the hope ride because we don't want families to give up the hope. We want them to always have hope that their family member can come back.
Any last thing you want to let people know?
I hope everybody comes to this event. It's a wonderful event for a wonderful organization, and all the money raised really does come back to the organization for us to help families. People may say, well, what does it do? Something as simple as making a flyer. We make tons of copies here. We have a copy machine, we do paper, we do ink, all those things go right back into helping families.
The Cleveland Family Center for Missing Children and Adults is sponsoring an annual motorcycle ride to promote awareness for missing people. The Hope Ride is Saturday, September 16th, 2023, starting at the Center for Missing Children and Adults. It is located at 2937 West 25th Street, Cleveland, Ohio. Registration starts 7 a.m., kickstands up at 10 a.m. For more information and to register for the event, you can contact the official Hope Ride at gmail.com or call 216-346-2754.
If you would like to help the Cleveland Family Center for Missing Children and Adults, contact Sylvia at clevelandmissing.org or www.clevelandmissing.org. There's an estimated 2,300 children missing every day in the United States.
Skull Nation Bones About It podcast will be supporting restaurants near and far. For this episode, we would like to give out a shout out and thanks to Big Brew Barbecue. They are located at 46130 Telegraph Road, Amherst, Ohio. For more information, call 216-906-1782. Their hours of operation are from noon to 9 p.m.